I was wrong. They got me. AI. It was really good, and it did seem like something she would say.
With her bouncy little fun bags on the screen, staring at you, piercing through the core of your soul.
This story is embarrassing from top to bottom. Every angle of this is embarrassing. It's embarrassing from Chris Cuomo, who acts like a reasonable human being. It's embarrassing for Chris Cuomo as a journalist. It's just embarrassing all around that this guy who is accused of sexual predation, he's a guy who defended his brother and maligned the victims of his brother. He's just... when those dudes, those MAGA dudes called him Fredo that time, they were not far off the mark. When he got all enraged, oh, you don't call me Fredo, I'll punch you, or like anybody's afraid of fucking Chris Cuomo. Yesterday on Twitter, he shared a fake video, an AI video of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And at the end of this, I'm going to play the video for you just to show you how stupid Chris Cuomo is. That it's not like, oh, wow, I got duped, but it was super realistic and I thought for sure this was real. I mean, he's doing that number. Oh, I was wrong. AOC was right. The video I shared wasn't real. But when you hear the video, you'll be like, he thought that was real? I mean, look, AI is certainly advanced right now. Have you seen the bunnies jumping on the trampoline? That's AI. Have you seen the video of the dog that's like the size of a horse? That's AI. And look, I get it. It's a new technology and people are not on guard to it. So they get bamboozled. They get duped. I get it. I'm not coming down on you. I've seen things and had to kind of question, is that real? It seems too good to be true or too fantastical to be true. And then I use my logic and reason skills, whatever I have, to say, maybe not. Let me look into that. And you should do the same thing. Apparently, Chris Cuomo doesn't think like this. When he sees something that is so obviously fake, he just fires it off and tweets it. I don't know where to start here. Let's start with his mea culpa on his show on News Nation. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Here's Chris Cuomo admitting he was wrong. AOC was right. They got me, he said. They weren't gunning for you, dipshit. Here he is, and then we'll get to the saga and play the video.
You listening? I was wrong. I was tweeting today and saw a clip of AOC saying that Sydney Sweeney ad was racist. And so I replied to it and I said, why do you care about this and ignore what matters most? Why, in all the times that you've called on Israel to stop, why have you never told Hamas to stop, told Hamas to surrender? Why would you ignore the St. Louis attack on that Jewish guy who had his car bombed? AOC tweeted back and said, dude, that's a deep fake, that Sydney Sweeney ad. You suck, in so many words. And she was right. They got me. AI. It was really good, and it did seem like something she would say. But it wasn't her. So I thanked AOC for correcting me. But I then reminded her, she ignored the part of the tweet that mattered, okay? Not Sweeney, which really should have never been a thing, let's be honest. Why did AOC, the most popular Democrat in the country, powerful, reportedly ignore what I asked about calling on Hamas to surrender to end the war they started? She has never said that I could find. Think about that. She also ignored my question about saying nothing about the American IDF soldier who returned home only to have his car firebombed in America by anti-Semites. Why? Why wouldn't you say anything about that?
Chris Cuomo's not running for office. Why is he disseminating AIPAC talking points here? Is he on the payroll? Is that what's happening here? A few things that I want to talk about as I show this tweet exchange is, why do you care? This is the question he asked to her. Why do you care about this, the white supremacist eugenics TV ad for jeans with Sydney Sweeney that I've talked about, that so many people are wrong about? This isn't important. This is just a distraction. We're living in an era where we have a eugenicist as president of the United States that he wants to create. There's a concerted effort to create a white ethno-state with his mass deportation effort. And we're supposed to ignore all of the companies that are bending the knee to Donald Trump. Tim Cook, Tim Apple, was in the Oval Office yesterday presenting Donald Trump with a 24-karat phone, bending the knee to Donald Trump. All of these billionaires and all of these massive corporations are settling with Donald Trump in his lawsuits, are just donating money to his presidential library. They're bending the knee to fascism. And here we have Chris Cuomo from a storied political family in the United States. Why are you worried about this and not the things that are most important? Oh, pray tell, what are the things that are most important to you, Chris Cuomo? Here was the tweet exchange. Nothing about Hamas burning Jews' cars, but Sweeney ad jeans ad. Deserve time on floor of Congress? What happened to this party? Fight for small business, not for small culture wars. Was he drunk when he tweeted? I don't understand. And then he shares the video, right? And then that is what she said. This is a deep fake, dude. Please use your critical thinking skills. At this point, you're just reposting Facebook memes and calling it journalism. And I love the answer. Here, I'm going to play this video for you. But I love the reason that he says he got duped. It was really good, he said, and the classic when someone's get caught sharing something fake. Yeah, but it could have been real. It could have been real. It sounded like something she would say. He says. Chris, bring it in. You've made enough money. You've made millions and millions of dollars being a TV personality newsman. It's time to just pack it in, bro. When you're getting duped by clear fake AI videos that have on them the words 100% parody, 100% fake AI video. It said it on it in a watermark and you still shared it, you fucking idiot. There is no saving face. A lot of people will say, yeah, well, it took a big man. He came out and said, oh, I was wrong. What other choice did he have? It's not saving face. He had no choice but to admit that what he did was wrong and stupid. Here's the video that seemed super real to Chris Cuomo. Here is the video that it sounded like something AOC would say. This is a speech on the floor of the House of Representatives where she's dropping the F-bomb and talking about fun bags. In what addled idiot's mind would this possibly be something that AOC would say on the floor of the House of Representatives while giving an official address? Chris Cuomo.
Sydney Sweeney looks like an Aryan goddess. And the American Eagle Jeans campaign is blatant Nazi propaganda. I mean, fuck. Watching that sultry little temptress squeeze into a Canadian tuxedo, 3 sizes too small, with her bouncy little fun bags on the screen staring at you, piercing through the core of your soul, with those ocean blue eyes that could resurrect the Führer from his grave in Argentina, is something that should alarm every American citizen, because in America, beauty is not defined by whiteness. Oh no, it is defined by the number of victim groups of which you are a member. Skinny, attractive, blonde-haired, blue-eyed cisgender women descend from the slave daddy oppressors of this nation, and any man who cranks one out while thinking about a woman like this probably hates black people, probably hates gay people, and they certainly hate the diversity of our great nation. So I say, instead of simping for the Sydneys, we should be celebrating the Shaniquas. Instead of worshiping the hot, straight blonde, what about the obese alphabet, people with blue hair? They need love too. And to all the haters who say companies that go woke, go broke, I'd rather be poor than a fucking Nazi.
Yeah, it's super realistic, right? Listen, I take back everything I said, Chris Cuomo. I take it all back. That was uber realistic. Unbelievably realistic. In fact, let me put it back up so I could read what it said there at the top. Parody 100% made with AI. What was your first clue that it was fake, Chris? Was it her talking about slave daddies or cranking one out to Sydney Sweeney? the sultry little temptress with the bouncy little fun bags? What was your first clue that it was fake, Chris? What could it have been? So look, here's the overarching premise of the point I'm getting to. One, other than the fact that Chris Cuomo was an unqualified, uncritically thinking Nepo baby, a child of great privilege relative to both influence and power, but also money. And he apparently feels so entitled to his job that he doesn't have to critically check his sources and do the basics of being a journalist. Look, if you want to be a commentator, Chris Cuomo, come on in, the water's warm, brother. But if you want to be a journalist, you got to abide by the standards of journalism and not attack Democratic congresswomen with false information, fake, deep fake videos that aren't even done well, you clownish dipshit. So come at me, all the Chris Cuomo stands out there. I think there are probably fewer than there used to be. This is a guy who's always bothered me, and it's nice when he finally shows his ass to the rest of the world and they start catching on that this dipshit isn't the person they thought he was. Attacking AOC. One, not your job at all, but certainly not attacking her like you're an adult, 90-year-old grandpa who just doesn't quite understand AI because it's a new technology. Get it together, Cuomo brothers. Anyway, what do you think? I'm here for your dissent or your agreement. You can comment below the video. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. If you like the venom or the vigor with which I deliver the message, please consider supporting this work and helping me produce these videos on a daily basis. You can click the join button below this video on YouTube to become a channel member for $2 a month, or you can clickety-clack your browser over to my Patreon page, which is patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast, and help support there. Anyway, I love and appreciate you very much. As always, be genuine and take care of one another.